So as you climb up the vine to the island, there's a loud bang and a spray of orange sparks, obviously magic. Something appears that was apparently invisible above you, flying on little butterfly wings, and it makes the noise that you have in old World War II movies when a plane's about to crash. As its wings stop beating, it plummets from the sky and crashes to the ground in front of you, covered in blood from head to foot. It looks up at you with sorrowful little eyes and says, "Just tell me more. Remember me by 2 simple words." And then its eyes close and its tongue lolls out the side of its mouth. And then it looks up at you again and says, "Any 2 words, as long as they're simple." And then with a gasp, its eyes close and its head lolls to the side. You look down at the tiny broken body covered in blood. Can I please have a medicine check from you all?
No.
Perhaps not. Nutmeg, however, you look down at the tiny broken body lying in front of you and you realise the blood's got seeds in it.
Seeds?
Seeds.
I'll have a closer look.
Right, Nutmeg leans forward and it smells sweet, Nutmeg.
What? Anyone know what this is like? Got seeds in them and everything.
He's not a muesli fairy, is he?
Yeah. And now you've got your face pressed closer to it. It smells strongly of strawberries.
Strawberries.
Do they look like strawberry seeds?
They do if now that our friend Nutmeg has pointed it out to you. You look closely at this body and you realise that under the jacket it appears that there's been a whole load of strawberries tied to its waistcoat inside.
I'll search him. Why is he covered in strawberries?
Right, so you begin to unbutton the jacket and you see strawberries tied inside, and he's lying on one side with his tongue hanging out the side, and he pops one eye open at the side and he whispers like at the side of his mouth, "Knock off, I'm dead. Stop messing about."
I see. War games.
I get it. All right, you so. Right, so we're not supposed to actually kill anybody.
He says, "I'm not supposed to be talking to anybody. I'm a casualty."
Well, since you're a casualty, right, you couldn't quickly tell us what's going on.
Well, I shouldn't really, but this is the last uncorrupted piece of Prismia, and the fairies and the pixies are having a game of strawberry ball to decide who gets to live here.
Oh, what about the goblins?
There isn't any goblins up here.
Yeah, I know, but could they not come up here? They're kind of suffering down there.
I don't know. I'm just following orders. You need to speak to the general.
Where can I find him?
He'll be around here somewhere.
Right, not a problem. Everyone look away.
Why?
Yep, everyone look away. Well, when everyone looks away, I'll take my kecks off and tie them to a stick and use them as a white flag.
So they're more or less white, I would imagine.
Almighty.
They're reasonably white-ish.
Well, unless
probably
you're
like
colourblind.
grey and yellow and brown stripes.
Well, if I needed to make a urine, sperm, and stool sample, I could just send me underpants, put it that way.
Right, so dazzling spells zap and zip as tiny winged face swarm about the floating islands. The cries of battle in pixies and sprites blend with the crashing of arrows and spells, building a din that blankets the floating landscape. The foliage is lush and beautiful, the air crisp and warm. It would be serene if not for the battle currently raging across it. Foom, crack, go the spells above your heads.
I'll keep my head down and start heading towards where he said the general was.
He didn't say where the general was, he just said he was about somewhere.
Yeah, we'll look for a command tent. That's where generals come from, innit?
You can see that these are fading in and out of visibility as they pop out, fire an arrow or a spell off, and then pop back again.
Right,
There's no like command tent. The whole area is buzzing. The air is buzzing with the small winged fear. Occasionally one will get hit and they'll make that noise like a propeller going as they come crashing to the ground.
Right, I'll get my whistle out and I'll blow my whistle really loud. And you know when like a referee does for the end of the game?
They don't seem to take any notice of you.
Because you've not got a red armband on saying that you're umpire.
Oh,
so on the island you see ahead of you a long stone path surrounding a beautiful serene well, and to the north end of the island it slopes upwards into a set of hills.
I'll head up that way.
I'd better go with Nutmeg, keep an eye on him, make sure when that horrible happens to him.
Nah, it'll be fine. What's the worst that could happen?
So you head to the north, you two?
Yeah.
Everybody, you're heading up this way?
Yeah, I'll head up that way as well.
Could
Can
you
you
share the map, please?
Share
Rich?
yeah, I can't see it.
Or
With my crocodile.
if you're crocodile. So you head towards the north.
A rabbit is never alone when he has a crocodile.
And as you approach the rocks at the base of the hill, two spells collided a spray of wild magic. I made a DC 12 charisma saving throw from you all.
I hate magic.
Awesome.
Oh, Jesus. One.
Right, so you begin to blink randomly. Just
What, like
Elvanilor
it?
and Britwick.
Like in and out of existence type of blink.
I believe it's 30 feet in a random direction. A D12 for the clock face.
Oh, bollocks.
Yeah.
Try and stay in the middle of the map, lads.
So let me just see how far you blink. This ought to be fun.
Oh, gosh. Gosh.
Don't worry, Snoodles, I'll be back.
All right. Each time that I say you roll a d20 on 11 or more, you vanish and teleport. Normally it's controlled. However, in this case, it's not. So you teleport on a clock face with a d12, and you can teleport up to 30 feet. So a d3, so 10, 20 or 30 feet, you'll teleport in a random direction.
Okie dokie.
And that would be Britwick and Elvanna.
So do you want us to roll the d20 first then?
Yes. So you approach the rocks. Can you two roll a d20?
Oh, there we go.
Yeah. So you feel a little strange, Britwick. This spell has exploded above you, and showered you with sparks.
So I need to roll a d12 now, don't I?
Roll a d12 and d3, and then Britwick sort of goes, "Oh!" It's like you've had a bad curry, and 10 feet. He blinks out of existence, and reappears 10 feet over that way, looking rather surprised as you look around, Andy.
And not a little bit confused.
He's been magicked.
He has been magicked.
I hate magic.
As you approach the bottom of the rocks, you can hear a squeaky, high-pitched voice at the top of the hill shouting, "No, over there! You get down to them lines there! You tell those buggers to get over to the other island, quick, sharp!"
What?
Like a general.
Your Highness, sir.
You'll have to scramble over the rocks first.
I will start scrambling.
So it takes just a few seconds to scramble over the rocks as you appear on the other side. Is everybody going with him?
Yeah.
Aye.
I'll go with him. Snoodles, sit, stay.
So Snoodles sits and stares.
Good lad.
And you can see at the top of the hill a small, important-looking pixie. He's got a camouflaged painted helmet on and a baton under his arm as he flutters in the air, barking orders to the other pixies who flutter around in all directions.
Your generalship?
You'd have to get up close as he seems to be ignoring you from this distance.
I'll walk up to him and go, "Oi, General."
You walk up to the top. Are you all guys following?
Yeah. I'll go with him.
Blinking
Aye.
all over. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Can you give
Don't
me
know
a
where the hell I am.
Can you give me a blink roll, you two, as you
Yep.
approach the top? 11 or higher. No. Your outline sort of shimmers, but you think there. He turns, and he's got camouflage war paint on his face. Little pink butterfly wings flutter behind him, and a tin helmet. And it's got "Make sweets, not war" written across it.
General.
What do you lot want?
Well, we're a bit,
Some jabberwocky done?
we're looking for Jabby what we've done. Also, what's occurring?
Can't you see? This is war. This is important.
Well,
You are welcome to go and collect as much shite as you want, but be warned that if you are targeted by friendly or enemy fire, we will not be held responsible.
So, if anyone shoots us, I can chop their head off.
No, don't be ridiculous. This is war. It's serious business. You don't kill anybody in war.
Yeah, that's probably why you're losing. Can I ask you a question?
Another one flutters up to him, and he turns to face this small pixie. This guy in front of you is a pixie. And he says, "General Carnation, the enemy appears to be on the opposite side of the islands to the east." And he says, "Very well. Bring out of my flotillas and send them across."
General, I understand that you're having a war game to work out who's going to have this last bit of land, yeah?
Yes?
Well, you need to include the goblins in that.
I'm sorry, there will not be enough room for any goblins up here.
Well, yeah, exactly. So if you're having a two-way war, surely you have to include everyone who's interested in taking a piece of the land. It's only fair.
They weren't here when we started the war, and the rules of the war say you have to be in attendance when we start. You can't just join in halfway through.
I
So
agree.
sorry.
But did you inform them?
No?
Well, then how could they be here if you didn't tell them? That's a bit sneaky. Very dishonourable.
Look, are you not spies or something? Are you coming to try and distract me from my very serious business?
No. We're here to rescue, do away with what you call her.
Granny Nightshade, I think her name is.
He
We're
goes,
going to try and return...
and spits out the tiniest spit you've ever seen in your life. Granny Nightshade, poo, poo.
We're going to try and bring
I spit on
Zabilna
Granny
back.
Nightshade, poo, poo.
We want to try to find and rescue Zabilna, but we can't do that at the minute because we're too busy dealing with a lot of pixies and fairies who are playing war games when they should be gathering up into a force to act as an act of resistance.
This is not a game. This is serious stuff, and only complete surrender by that bugger over on the other side, Tarragon, will assure me that we can live in peace.
So, if he surrenders, you can live in peace.
Yes.
How about you have a ceasefire and we have a powwow?
No, there's no ceasefire. Not in war.
Yeah, there is. Ceasefires happen in wars all the time.
Britwick, Elvana, can you give me a D20 roll, please? This is number 3.
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
Here we go.
Britwick sort of looks a bit ill, and then teleports 20 feet.
And the being magic. Will you stop magicking people?
Britwick, you appear in a bush. You can't see anybody.
At least it's on land.
All you hear is a little muffled voice. Oh, fuck.
This is silly. You should be working together to get Zabilna back, but instead you're having a stupid fight over the last little bit of land. I mean, that's like capitalism gone mad, that is.
Here, Big Nose. Who are you to tell us how to fight by war?
What'd you say?
Said, here, Big Nose. Sergeant, bring some of the lads round.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Now listen here, you. I'm not going to tell you this again, but if you call me one more name, I'm going to take over your army by grabbing hold of your legs and beating you to death on a stick. Now, Zabilna's more important than this stupidity that you're doing at the minute. You need to grow up.
Wait, well, not be cowed by shows of force.
God, look,
You will
I'd call him short horse.
You will have to take our threat and demand that Tarragon surrenders.
Right up. I'll go and see Tarragon. Where is he?
He's over there, he says, waving his hands to the east.
Right here then. East it is. Head towards the east.
Well, where would you like to move to?
I'll go down this cliff thing, past the pool. Oh God, there's no path, is there? Oh wait, no, dead end.
Right, Britwick, you stick your ears out of the bush. Perhaps a leaf is stuck in your lug hole as Sherlock runs past you.
How the hell am I supposed to get to him? I'll say to the general.
Right, you just fly. You've got wings, I can see them.
Yeah, but these haven't. See how I dodged that? That was pretty good.
And you're not Cockney anymore.
Oh shit, aye. Missing a sesh, man. Lose my accent.
Well, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I mean, you could do a
I'll look at the
running
general.
jump, perhaps.
Get out this
I'll
bloody
point down to
bush
that
for a
big
start.
blue thing and go, what's that?
What big blue thing?
That's just down from Sherlock.
That is a mystical pool.
Can I have a drink of that water then?
Yes.
I want to see what happens.
Dave, as you head over and touch the water, can you please roll? Throw me heads or tails? Heads. Right, okay. You guys are standing there. Sherlock screams and vanishes.
What the hell?
I turn around on the spot and look for where he's going to reappear.
Yeah, I'll look around as well.
Sherlock, still screaming, you appear at the northern pool. A terrible, terrible stench wafts across from the west. Like the worst stench you've ever had. So Sherlock's like, and then pops out.
You shut your pants again, Governor.
Does this pool look clean or dirty?
The pool is miraculously clean. Or, nutmeg.
I have a drink.
Right? It tastes cool and clear. And it's slightly magical. You know, like the water in Tron, where it's like kind of luminescent. You have a nice drink. Can you roll heads or tails, please? Nutmeg. Tails. Poof! Nutmeg vanishes in a puff of logic. Nutmeg, you appear on an island to the south. A terrible, terrible stench wafts up from the southwest.
I'll look around. Is there a general here?
There is not. Okay, so first we have Sherlock. Oh dear.
I'll see it at Dodgy.
99.
Where have you gone?
You are struck by a spell, Sherlock. It's a dispel magic, but I don't think you have any magical effects upon you, do you?
Nope.
You don't. So yeah, there's a poof and a tinkle of fairy dust as you're struck by a spell. Nutmeg.
Right. I'll look around.
Nothing happens. You just see a lovely island, but there's a terrible, terrible stench coming up from the southwest.
I'll head to the southwest then.
And the rest of you, no complication. As Dobbsy heads down to the edge of the pool, as does Elvana. Britwick and Elvana. You both arrive at the edge of the pool. Can you roll me a d20, please? Oh dear, Elvana, roll me a d3. 20 feet and roll me a d12. You have this weird feeling coming over you, and then Elvana Law in front of your eyes vanishes.
Oof.
Ouch.
And
I
then,
suppose
poof, you blink back in.
I'd better dip me paw in the water.
Right, Elvana Law comes back. You dip your foot into the water. Well, your paw. Can you roll me heads or tails, please?
Yeah, hold on.
You have an uncanny feeling of falling, and then you appear in a pool on a different island, and a terrible stench wafts up from the southwest.
I'll dip my foot in.
Heads or tails, please?
Why? I wouldn't pick up the car. All right, okay.
Right, Elvana, you disappear and you appear. Sherlock, you get a shock as Elvana pops up right next to you. There's a terrible stench coming from the northwest, Elvana.
Ooh.
I'll stick a hoof in.
Heads or tails? Heads. Dobbsy appears right on top of you, Elvana, almost knocking you over as you scramble about in the pool. Sherlock, looking over to the west, the island that is to the west, there's an enormous dung pile. It's steaming hot and large flies lazily buzz around it.
Does there seem to be a way to it, like a rope bridge or what?
No, it's hanging in midair, although it does look like there's some overhanging trees that you could precariously balance or climb along.
Does it look like I'd be able to climb back?
Not once you've jumped down. If you just jump down without any sort of forethought.
I suppose I'm going to have to use a rope tied to one of the trees and shinny along a branch and tie the other end of the rope to my waist.
Okay.
And I shinny along on the branch, and when I'm close enough, try and jump onto the other island.
Okay, give me a DC 10 athletics roll. Or acrobatics if you want. You want us to send you it? No. Remember that you've all got inspiration, and I'll be awarding inspiration at the beginning of each session, but you haven't used any yet.
I use my inspiration for
Right,
the
you
rolling.
leap for the side, you miss, and you slip, and you see Sherlock is hanging on the edge of the island. Go on, roll again. With a panicked look, he scrambles up and appears on the island. There's a large pile of dung on the island, as big as you've ever seen.
Oh, I don't know, that one that Granny did was canny size, like.
I'm going to climb out of the pool.
Right, you climb
from
out of the
underneath
pool.
Dobbsy.
Yeah, north or south?
South.
So you climb out of the pool and you climb down onto this ledge here.
Yep.
So, Dobbsy, what do you do? Apparently nothing. Okay, Britwick and Nutmeg.
Right, I'm going to use my delicate rabbity-like nose to follow the smell.
Yeah, the smell leads you to the southwest where you bump into Nutmeg. Across on that small island there, you see an enormous pile of dung.
On the smallest small island.
On the one that is just to... Actually, hang on, I think I can do this. No, I can't. It is the one which is here.
Right. Do I reckon I can jump that?
You probably could if you stood on the edge. It's only a 10 foot. So with a run up of at least 10 feet, you can cover a number of feet up to your strength score. Although you do have very hoppy, don't you?
Yes, I am. I am quite bouncy, like, rabbity-wise.
I'm gonna step back over here, like. I've turned Geordie. What the fuck is wrong with me tonight? That edge looks a bit dangerous.
So you can you should be able to jump easily.
Yeah, I can. So I shall take a run up and jump across.
Right, you jump across. There's an enormous pile of dung there, like hot and steaming with flies buzzing around it. and it weighs 10 pounds. That's how big it is.
That's a big pile of shit.
Well, it'll fit in me sack.
Are you putting it in your bag of holding?
No. I'm putting it in a sack.
So you scoop the dung up and put it in a sack, and just as you do that, can you give me a D20 roll, please?
Oh, God.
I'd rather not.
And Elvana, can you give me a D20 roll?
Oh, no.
You.
Oh, tension. Again, you feel that like out of fears, Andy, but it quickly subsides. You now have a sack with a gigantic turd in it.
Oh, God.
I fill one of my sacks and with a...
I don't believe you guys filling things with shit.
Do you have a tool to dig it up with, or are you just going to have...
Oh, no.
Do you have a shovel in your inventory? I'm just asking for a friend.
I could use my dagger.
Oh.
And then wipe me clean off on the grass.
I'm not sure that a dagger will work. So you try hard. Give me a DC 20 Dexter sleight of hand check. DC 20 sleight of hand check.
I'm not shaking your hand.
Don't you mean sleight of hand?
Could you send it, Rich?
I certainly can, Dave. I certainly can. A sleight of hand, DC 20. Open, of course, because we all want to know how he does on this one. There you go. He succeeds. So you managed to somehow, using a dagger, finagle this gigantic turd into a sack. Looking rather pleased with yourself and staying clean. What do you do now? Also, Dobbsy, what are you doing?
I'm just going to watch these two.
From inside the pool.
Well, yeah. Is it nice and warm? I'm going to.
It is nice and warm. Right, can you give me a heads or tails, Dobbsy? Dobbsy vanishes. Poof. Reappearing back at the first pool. So, Brickwick, hopping back quickly before the blink affects you.
Yeah, I'll...
You run over to Nutmeg holding an incredibly full and smelly sack.
Yep,
We should move over like... There we go, it's back.
I shall look at Nutmeg, indicate the sack and go, it's full of shit.
Well, that's just asking for someone to say something, isn't it?
So, back to the pool, I think.
Yep.
You run back to the pool.
I shall run, jump, and swing over without using the rope that's tied to the tree.
Give me an athletics or an acrobatics. What would you prefer?
Acrobatics.
An acrobatics DC 10, because it's only a regular check. A 25. So you swing like Tarzan across the gap, climbing back along the trees. Sherlock appears next to you, Elvana, looking rather happy with himself, holding a rather bulging, smelly sack.
I untie the rope, coil it back up, put it back in backpack, and have a taste of this pool.
So
before he touches the pool, can I go in it first?
Yeah.
As it smells.
Give me a heads or tails, please, Elvana. Damn it, heads. Right, you appear with a pop on top of Shergar here.
On Shergar.
As you appear above him, and with you land on top of him.
Couldn't have done that again if I tried.
Dobbsy, your group, I'm going to give you a roll now. An 88. The ground in a 10-foot radius centre on you becomes slippery with ice. The slippery ice is difficult terrain as the pool around you freezes.
What the hell?
Oh dear. I'll try and get out before I'm trapped inside.
I'll tell you what I'll do. If he ends up frozen, cast Destroy Water.
Do you want to do that? Is that a cantrip?
No, it's an actual spell.
Well, let's try and get out first.
Yeah, you can easily get out. However, you need to roll
okay.
a DC 10 acrobatics.
If he's stuck, I'll do that.
DC 10 acrobatics as you scramble across the suddenly appearing ice. Yeah, your legs go out in all directions for a second, but then you can leap out of the way.
You can do it, Shergar. Come on.
Yeah.
Giddy up. I've been wanting to say that a while.
So, you scramble away from the ice, and presumably you do as well, Elvana Law.
Oh, yeah.
Although, actually, you were hanging on the back of him, weren't you? So,
yeah,
you're lying across the back of Dobbsy as he scrambles away from the ice. Dave, you're just about to touch the pool, and you get covered in ice as well. So, can you give me a DC 10 athletics?
Let's see.
Sorry, acrobatics, DC 10 request roll. There you go.
I take it I made it then.
With a 25. Yeah, you skate across the ice and roll me heads or tails, please. Heads. You appear on top of the frozen pool next to Dobbsy. Okay, Britwick and Nutmeg. What are you doing?
I'm going to join the pool.
07. Nothing happens to you. Give me heads or tails, please. Both heads. Right, you all appear back at the original pool where you started. However, it's covered in ice. I need DC 10 athletics checks from you.
Alright, hang on. Can I use acrobatics?
You can, yeah.
Ta.
So you easily keep your footing. Elvana and Britwick, can you give me a D20 roll, please?
Oh, shit.
Both of you roll a D12 and then a D3. Right. 10 feet. Britwick, you get that feeling, you go, but you appear on the other side of Nutmeg. Elvana rolls a 7 and moves 10 feet as she teleports off Dobbsy. And then because she was sitting down, you land with a bump on your rump as you land on the floor.
Ow!
It smells really bad now as you have 2 giant sacks filled with turds.
Oh shit!
I'll hold me sack up and waggle it. We've got the
Smells
job
like
of what you
comet.
shit.
Smells like Canal Street in the summer.
It certainly does. So, what is it you plan on doing?
Finding the general. Trouble is it's to the east. Not sure how to get there.
This is the ice covering the ground.
Have we broke it?
I'm going to try.
You've stepped back from the pool, presumably now.
Yeah, just off the ice.
Well, what's the plan now? As you stand and look at each other, rather confused, Elvanor stands up and rubs her behind.
That hurts.
Well, here's the thing, right? If we try and talk this other geezer and he gives us the evo, what we're going to do? Because the goblins can't live up here. There's 2 bloody warring nations.
Well, we either try and unite them or we'll just threaten them to say, well, if this is the last bit of land, we'll destroy it, so you'll all be fucked.
Do the goblins want to live up here, though?
They do. That's what we said, isn't it?
Well, you were looking for possible places for them to live.
This place is probably not the best then. I say we get to the building the back, fix all this shit, and then the goblins can sort it out with the 2 tiny terrors.
And we say this other general pixie from here.
You can't see from here. All you can see is a cascade of spells and fireworks and pixie dust going off in all directions. But you were told that he was to the east as the ice slowly melts.
Well, why don't one of you buggers who can fly just take a nip over to the island to the east and have a mooch?
I think we should just go down to the goblins and give them that the shit like.
I think we need to ask the general on his side to cast the blink spell on our 2 mates.
Well, it's only got another 4 effects. But if you want to climb down the vine right now, that's fine.
I think we should wait until she stops bouncing about. That'd be pretty bad.
Well, the only other place you could leave was a place called Fablerise that you have no leads on.
I'll go back to see the general.
You go back to see the general.
Yep.
General Carnation is standing there. Well, did he surrender?
No, we couldn't find him. He's camouflaged.
Of course he's camouflaged. He's over there. And he points over towards the east. Waves his hand to like east-ish, north-southeast.
What was that place called? Something Rise?
Fablerise. It's in your clues.
Have you heard of Fablerise?
Fablerise?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is it?
It's a wondrous place where people can go to hear stories.
Where is it?
The entrance is a cave down there, and he indicates the mountain on the thither map, just to your west.
All right, okay. Thanks
He
very
says
much.
there's a cave that leads to Fablerise, but why would you need to go there?
I'm not sure. We're looking for a way to stop all this. You really should maybe work together, you know.
Well, that is not going to happen as long as he does not surrender. We would need some independent third party to come up with a clever way to end the war. Not that sort of thing ever happens.
Oh.
Well, we could always ask the goblins to come up. There would be an independent third party. They could mediate and sort the war out for you.
That's a good point. And they're being repressed. Their children are being taken away. But no, it's all right. You stay here. You play your war games. It's not important what I'm saying. Poor little kiddies. The urchins there with they just want a bit of aniseed, a little aniseed ball each, but no, they can't have it. Get it taken off them, taken away. But you know your war's more important than the poor little kiddies.
You're damn right it is.
Those poor little urchins.
I'm gonna slap them. So,
Just left there to urge by themselves.
right, the east. Where is the east? That's the one that we don't have any teleports to, right?
Yep.
It looks like it, yes.
Wait a minute. Here's a look.
Right, okay, I'll go across. What's the shortest possible route? I'll go.
The shortest possible route is from that other island you went to, and where Andy collected the enormous sack of dung.
Oh, I'll jump in the pool again.
Heads and tails, please. Heads.
Go ahead.
You appear in the North Pool.
It's not where I want to be. I'll get out of the pool. Count to 10. I'll jump in the pool again.
Okay. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm going to wait here because I'm blinking about all the time, and this pool business and everything on top of that is making us very, very nauseous.
That's true, Britwick. What are you doing? Is anyone going with them?
I'll go with him.
Right, so you jump back in the pool. Give me a heads or tails. Heads, you also appear right next to Nutmeg. As you can imagine, this place is starting to do your boxing.
What you Nutmeg?
All right, mate.
What are you guys doing? What are the rest of you doing? I mean, Ilvala's just going to stay there.
Yeah, I'm just going to sit down. Me bum's sore. My stomach doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah, you two give me a teleport roll, please. I've got a little dice here I'm keeping track of. Elvana's okay, as is Britwick.
I'll jump back in the pool.
Dobbsy, heads or tail. So after a few seconds, it doesn't seem to do anything. And then after you seem to have left it a little while, Dobbsy, you appear on the southern island.
Stay there! I'll shout.
Yep, I'll just get out the pool.
You jump into the pool. Britwick has moved out the pool. Give me a heads or tails, please.
Yeah.
Al. Heads. You appear back on the original island.
I am going to go down here, and then
Yes.
I am going to walk across that creeper.
Oh, I love it. So that's going to be as easy as it gets. So DC 10.
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics or athletics, whichever you prefer.
Oh, I think acrobatics.
Right, so holding your quarterstaff out, you gingerly walk across, but do it without any problems arriving on the other side.
Right. And now the grand plan is to walk across to here, jump down onto that little island, and then from there to go down to here.
It's a 15-foot jump.
Oh, that should be all right, shouldn't it? Surely I can use acrobatics to land on me feet.
You can jump 12 feet, right, without a roll. If you make a DC 10 athletics check, you can jump an extra 5 feet. Do you not have a leapy bunny ability or something, or is that a special?
No, I do have a leapy bunny ability, but I'm saving that for the next bit.
Right, so a DC 10 athletics check. Oh dear. So you come up short. You leap gracefully in the air. You know, you go in slow motion like in the movies as you sail across the thing. And then at the last second you think, I'm going to come up short. As you plummet and grab madly for the edge of the island. Can I please?
I may need to use my inspiration.
Yeah, a DC 10 dexterity saving throw to grab the ledge and pull yourself up.
Oh, yeah. I'll go down that
There you
again.
go. I'll do it for you. Are you using your inspiration?
Yeah, I will do.
Okie doke. So, there you go. A DC 10 dexterity saving throw. Another one. So, there we go. See your luck's holding, Andy. So, one hand slips and dirt and twigs come away. You're left with a twig in your hand and you're now hanging by one hand. As everybody in the party goes, ooh, like that. And then, like, you pull yourself up by one hand, your muscles twitching as you manage to pull yourself back onto the island. Double ones, eh? Who'd have thought it?
Oh, aye.
Should I make him do a teleport check right now?
Well, I'm going to climb down onto that bit so I'm as close to that tree as I can get.
Yes.
Like, right on the edge.
Right. As he does this,
Yes.
Dobbsy, are you
Shall
just waiting? Are you just waiting, Dobbsy?
I'm just trying to work out the range. I'll move to the very north
Yeah.
out there, and I'm going to see if there's anywhere where a line across, and so I could, like, go across a line.
Have you got a grappling hook or anything?
I would just check. I thought I had some rope.
Well, you can throw a bit of rope into the air, but what'll happen is it'll just go sailing off and then just flop and hang down.
Well, I've got thieves' tools.
I'm sure there's a grappling in Thieves' Tools.
There probably is, but you have to remember he's a centaur, so he's kind of bigger than the average bear. Like, they'll have a mini grappling hook kind of thing. Not really designed for a centaur's weight. I mean, you want him to have a go.
I'm only a pit pony.
Earl, are you stepping back into the pool?
I is.
You step back into the pool. Give me a heads or tails. Heads. Back to the same pool.
I'll step out of that pool. I'll wait a bit.
You wait a bit. This is driving you mad. Andy, so you stand there looking at this long branch thing.
Yeah, I'm going to jump over onto that branch.
Oh, it's less than 12 feet. So you leap over, landing on the branch. Arms out, rocking backwards and forwards. Manage to keep your balance though.
Yep, and then I'm going to go up the tree like this and onto the island.
Yeah. So you run desperately, hoping that any second you don't get a blink. A terrible smell comes from that small island to the northeast.
Well, that's all right. I have a bag of shite already. As long as there's not a Jabberwocky actually on the island having a dump, I'm all right.
Sherlock, are you just waiting there?
Yeah, for now.
Dobbsy, 20 feet with a run up, with a gallop up. You got 12, 17 feet. You could jump.
No, I'm not going to risk it.
You could make a DC 10 athletics check to do a run and jump, right? And then a DC 10 dexterity saving throw to catch the edge, because that is quite a long distance there.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not exactly life or death at the minute, so...
Right. Nutmeg, give me a saving throw, please. Head tilt. Heads again, you appear back in the original pool. Okay, so I guess we're back to you, Andy, as Dobbsy just looks over the...
Right, I'm going to safely ensconce myself in that bush
Yeah.
and then have a look about further down the island and see if I can say any pixie generally types.
You can't, but you can hear a commotion come from the southern part of the island where that tree overhangs the island.
Right, well, I'm going to take a minute because that was a bit close.
Look, you are fine, yeah.
And see if anybody else is coming to join me, and if they're not, I'm going to have to go down there and talk to that little pixie hermit.
Right.
I'm going to jump back in the pool.
Go on, give us a heads or tails.
Heads.
You get heads.
I called it.
So many heads, Earl.
I'm going to step out of the pool, take the coin out of my pocket, flip it off the edge, pull out another coin, polish it, and go, right.
I just rolled and nobody else got any spell complications. So, Andy, I am going to give you a chance. You step forward into the centre of the island, and then I want a final teleport roll from you and Tracy.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you both teleport. Andy teleports in direction 3, only 10 feet. You blink out of existence, but look where you land.
Yeah.
You teleport straight towards the edge, blinking back into existence with a ah!
I scream like a girl.
Elvanlaw goes 30 feet in direction 6. So she disappears, and you appear in that bush, Elvanlaw.
Oh my god.
Poof! You appear in a bush. Your hair is now full of twigs.
Oh.
And
I'll go out the bush and start pulling the twigs out my hair and... Oh.
I like these islands. They're fun. Right, so, Andy, heading south, you see... You see a small group of sprites... surrounding a general-looking sprite who has a military cap on, and he is barking orders.
Right, well, I shall hop down. Presumably he's on this bit, is he?
He is, yes. So you hop down and approach, and again, you are ignored until you directly engage with them.
Excuse me, your generalship.
Yes, what do you want?
I bring news from the opposing forces.
Has he finally given up and decided to surrender?
He's thinking about it, and he wants you to think about it as well.
I will only surrender if he surrenders.
Well, that's handy, because he'll only surrender if you surrender. And in the meantime, there's a poor load of goblins down there, I'll point off the edge of the island, who are having a heck of a time.
Well,
their kids keep getting kidnapped and taken away into penal servitude. And what the goblins would like to do is they'd like to come up here and find a way to coexist peacefully with you and him.
Well, when you negotiate a surrender on behalf of me to Carnation, tell him General Tarragon says, I will accept your surrender, and then we can have a ceasefire.
Right. You know what might actually be easier? If the two of you met together and both surrendered to each other at the same time.
Well, I don't see how that's going to help anybody.
It's going to bloody help me.
Because all surrender to us.
You can actually just start swinging if you want, Bracey. Bracey just starts grabbing sprites out of the sky, snapping their necks and throwing them over the side of the island. Make a DC 15 persuasion roll.
Oh, dokie.
Because
I'll probably
they
shit.
seem quite... Wow. Okay, that's a nat 20.
Yep,
Very well.
it is.
You can tell Carnation we shall meet for talks of his surrender.
And yours.
Where shall we meet?
Let's have a look-see. We need to be an island, don't we? How's about that island to the south with the pole on it?
Very well. Men, let us head to the island of the south.
Right, you go on ahead. I'll have to go the long way round, lacking in the wings department as I am.
Right, there's a droning noise as the general and 5 of his men head off to the island to the south. Dobbsy, you see the pixies heading over. Sorry, these are the sprites. You see the sprites fly over this way.
Okay. I'll move back to where the pool is.
Okay.
And
Sure.
wait for the others.
I'm going to go right over here and see if I can attract Sherlock's attention.
Sherlock, you see Britwick waving at you from across the other island.
I'll move over to the edge and shout, "Yeah, what's the matter?"
I think I might stand a chance of organising a ceasefire. Tell that little short-ass general the island to the south. I'll point to the white island where Dobbsy is. Peace talks.
Okay, okay.
Thank very much.
Go to the general and say that the fairies want to discuss peace terms on the island, South Island with the well.
Well, he's decided to surrender, has he? That's good.
From the sounds of it.
Excellent. So there's a droning noise as Carnation heads off to the south. Now we'll just assume that you jump in and out the puddles so that anybody that wants to be there at the peace talks can be there at the peace talks. Otherwise,
I'll be
God
there.
for that.
If
Of course, I'll just keep getting head.
Earl cannot roll tails.
Ah!
So who else wants to attend the peace talks?
I would quite like to attend the peace talks.
You arrive for the peace talks. 8 pixies on one side, 8 sprites on the other, with the 2 generals who glare at each other. Well, this one with the big nose says that you were ready to surrender. No, he said you're ready to surrender.
I think what we said was you're both ready to surrender simultaneously at the same time together, thereby neither of you losing face and achieving the ends that you wish to achieve. You both win, nobody loses.
Nobody loses? What kind of war is that?
It's the kind of war that means the goblins down there who are getting shafted by all sorts of people are going to find somewhere safe to live.
Yeah, it's a win-win.
It
Or
could be a
technically, it's a
lose-lose.
win-win-win.
A win-win. So who wants to be doing the persuasion here? You are being quite...
Not me.
I'll do it.
And you get advantage, Dave. DC 15 persuasion request roll. A 25. So they're saying, so hold on. So what you're saying is, if we both surrender, then we both win.
Definitely. It's like having a fight in a car park.
And then you can invite each other to victory celebrations and have one big party with lots of singing, dancing and drinking.
Yep, and maybe the goblins could come and help that.
That sounds wonderful. And both of them crack big smiles. And then we can live on different islands and come and visit each other. We'll have this island side on the east, and as they stand and chatter, you can see that the spells have stopped slinging backwards and forwards, the arrows have stopped whistling, and the discharge of random magic begins to abate. It appears that you've managed to stop the tiny war.
Hey! We're like the UN.
You are. So they chatter away, now completely ignoring you.
You think we ought to go back and tell the goblins that it's safe for them to go up there?
It doesn't look like... It's a beautiful island paradise, as it were, but it doesn't look like there's anywhere really for them to get food.
Ah, well, don't the goblins make candy?
They mine it, but that's what they're trying to escape from, because Granny Nightshade has them working in the candy mine.
Yeah, but can't they use poop to make super candy?
They were going to make something super for you with the poop.
Maybe they could import the food from down below, since some of them can fly.
Some of them can fly.
Well, the other races here can fly, so the goblins would have to do certain other things here, and they would be provided with food as remuneration.
That is true. That is a possibility.
It's like symbiosis.
Symbiosis. It is indeed.
You're like a symbiosis.
If you want to check that cave out...
Oh, yeah, we're going to do that as well.
Carnation had said the cave was just to the west, coincidentally, right in the mountains.
We should go there.
You should...
We've stopped the war. Let's go and explore a cave.
Oh, okay. So you spend some time jumping backwards and forwards in the pool until you arrive back at the main island, and then you have the interesting task of getting Nutmeg back down the vine. Are you likely to just stuff him in the bag again? That is the question.
Can you not just hang on the back of me and I'll climb down?
I'm not getting in
So
the
we
bag.
just have to go in that smelly bag now because it stinks.
Right.
You just go hold on to the back of me.
Oh, no, not the poo bag. The bag of holding bag.
Again, the bag of holding bag. Yeah.
All right.
I don't want to go in the poo. I'm not going in the poo bag.
If it drops, you'll have a soft landing.
Oh!
With a noise that just goes...
Well, he'll end up in the shit, though.
Oh, God.
He certainly will end up in the shit.
He'll end up looking like a turd pancake.
Right, so... You head back down to the goblins, or are you heading straight to the cave? Because the cave is closer than the goblins.
Let's check the cave out, it's closer.
Heading down to the cave. I need to make you... The cave, coincidentally, is just in these mountains here to the west. And although the goblins' town is not far off, it is not as close as the actual cave. So you head into the mountains, and the directions, even though the directions were crude, it's quite easy to find a path that winds hidden through the mountains. Along the path ahead, roots and vines begin to bend and twist upward, arching over the forest floor. The tendrils weave their way up through low-hanging branches as the foliage thickens, forming a tunnel leading deep into the mountains. Stepping closer, a deep, melodious voice filters through, speaking as if recounting a marvellous tale. A squirrel frolics along the underbrush towards the opening and continues out of sight. You realise that you're walking through the mountains, and then you seem to be in a tunnel that has sprung up made of vegetation all around you.
Proceed onwards.
Can I have a DC 12 perception check from you all, please?
We're terrible, apart from Britwick.
You are all terrible. Britwick, you realise that this deep, melodious voice that sounds a bit like Brian Blessed seems to be spinning a children's story. You hear the chittering of small animals and even a few small animal voices. Oh, what happened next, John Spinner? Oh.
I shall point this out to the rest of the party. Isn't this the storyteller bloke we were supposed to go and see?
The tunnel itself opens into a large glade, shaded overhead by braided branches. At the centre of the clearing sits an enormous spider, as big as a building.
Oh, shit.
Delicately holding a large book in its two front legs, and it has those half glasses underneath its front four eyes. A group of small animals sit like children, staring up at the spider with rapt attention as it concludes. And then the boy stood up shakily and looked once more at the pyramids, and they seemed to laugh at him, and he laughed back, his heart bursting with joy because he knew where his treasure was. The animals cheer, yay, in a burst of excitement as the spider closes the book and places it in a silk sack. The creature looks in your directions. Welcome to Fablerise, my new friends. I am Yarn Spinner. It's not a very good Brian Blessed, but it's all you get on a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
Come, sit in my glade.
All right.
Take food and water. And he casts a spell, and around you immediately a vast feast appears of cakes and sandwiches, pies and quiches, gallons and gallons of pop.
I would like some quitchy, thank you very much. I'll stuff like a half quiche in me gob at the same time as drinking as much lemonade as I can.
I asked the spider if this stuff is safe, will have no ill effects on us whatsoever, no coercion.
Of course not. You can
Just
eat
checking.
freely in my domain. I will not attempt to deceive you in any manner.
Thank you.
Please help yourselves.
I couldn't ask you a question, could I?
Of course, it's my pleasure to spin stories and tales.
Oh, all right, okay.
You notice that the path behind you has closed up and you're now just sitting in this circle of trees. It's quite a beautiful circle, and sunlight comes down in rays between the branches.
What are your feelings on goblins?
Goblins, wonderful little creatures.
You don't have a bit of space around here, do you?
Of course.
It's
Fablerise has as much space as I require it to have.
It's just, you see, for goblins, they're getting repressed. They're having their kiddywinkles taken away by that horrible woman, and they need somewhere to hide.
What horrible woman would that be?
Granny Witherwax. No, that's not her. What's her name?
Granny Nightshade.
That's her.
I'm afraid I have no idea who that is.
What?
There is nobody arrived in the domain of Fablerise of that name.
Well, I don't know how to explain this. You know that the building of the Fairy Queen's missing, right? She's been cast out of Prismere.
I do know that the other domain, ruled by the Lady Isabelna, is on the other side of the forest, but I have not spoken to her in a long, long time.
Well, she's been deposed, hasn't she? Right? And there's these three evil eggs who've took over, and they're creating a horrible place, and they're persecuting the poor goblins who need somewhere to hide.
That sounds terrible. Although it would make a great story. Would you mind if I write some of this down?
Oh, not at all, not at all. They are effectively repressing them. They're taking their goblin rights away. They're taking their kiddywinkles. It's horrible, and they need somewhere to live.
Oh, well, yes, of course. I'm happy to have people to tell stories to. Brian Blessed. I'm trying to get Brian Blessed. I'm just not getting it. Sibylla's alive. No. And then a squirrel goes, "Please, can we have another story? Please, please." "Of course, little one," says the giant spider with the half glasses.
Right, I'll purposefully eat another half a quiche, then I'll lie down on my story mat and try not to fall asleep in 7 seconds. I'll fall asleep in 7 seconds.
Would you mind having a story? I'd be happy to spin a hut for you to sleep in tonight.
Oh, it'd be very nice of you, yeah. I'm just going to sleep. I'm thinking of, when the kids have story time at school and they lie down in blankies and go to sleep. I'm just doing that naturally as soon as he mentions story time. Get me blankie out, puffing up and going straight to sleep on the floor.
Alas, you will not be able to return to Prismere until the morning, because the fairy ring will not reset. I have a fairy ring at the centre of my domain. You get the impression that we're speaking that you're not in Prismere anymore.
Yeah, I'm getting that as well.
Please sit down and make yourself comfortable.
Well, I am literally going to lie down and go to sleep with one ear open.
Okay, well, what about the rest of you?
I'm going to sit cross-legged and meditate for 4 hours, since I
I
don't
think
need
we
to
still
sleep.
need to put a watch up, just in case.
Yeah.
I'll take watch till Elvana's done, and then we'll have a sleep.
Yeah.
Well, he's reading you a story now, and then he promised to spin you a hut made of the finest spider silk for you to sleep in.
A hut? All right, okay.
Right. So he goes, picks up his large book in his front two legs and turns the page, apparently to page 1. "This is a story I took from the dreams of an orc, and I wrote it down, and now I read it to you. Once upon a time, there was a paladin named Strongheart, the most courageous human in the land. He and his fearless unicorn steed were part of Valor's Call, a group of protectors who brought peace to the good folk of the world, but the forces of evil are not so easily stifled. From the shadows, a group of villains banded together with a single purpose in mind, the accumulation of power. A greedy, narcissistic human sorcerer named Kelek led the band with his right-hand man, Zarek, the most lethal of assassins. The two hatched a brilliant plan to extort the archfey of Prismia, Zybilna, and steal her power and wealth. When Vala's Call learned what Kelek and his League of Malevolence intended to do, it was with a steadfast determination that they steeled themselves for battle. Strongheart, always the protector, turned to his unicorn with a heavy heart. The Feywild lies far beyond anywhere we've ever imagined, and I fear Vala's Call may not return. I cannot let any harm come to you, and I need you to remain. And so Strongheart's unicorn stayed behind as Vala's Call travelled to Prismia. The League of Malevolence quickly approached Prismia, unstoppable as they breached Zybilna's grounds. But they entered the magical palace of Heart's Desire, and they were met with an ambush. Vala's Call was waiting. Spells shot through the air, swords clashed, and Vala's Call quickly realised their fears were well-founded and they were going to lose. But just as Vala's Call was on the brink of destruction, a blinding glow filled the hall, and Zybilna appeared in all her power, already spinning a spell to undo the destruction and stop the evil league. Vala's Call breathed a sigh of relief that the powerful Archfey joined the fight, but their respite was short-lived. Unbeknownst to Zybilna, Zarek had orchestrated a trap set by his allies, the Witches of the Hourglass Coven. And as Zybilna reached for her cauldron to finalise her ultimate spell, she brushed against its surface. Like ice spreading across a lake, the curse shot through the room, locking everyone in place and freezing the whole palace in time. At this, all of the little squirrels and muskrats, like half of a Disney movie, go and hold their little squirrely hands up to their faces in horror. But not even the wretched curse could stop the call of Strongheart's beating heart across the plains. This beating reached the ears of his unicorn companion, who summoned all his strength and will to bring himself through the fabric of reality to Zybilna's palace. Not even the mightiest magic could withstand his healing touch, and the unicorn was able to reverse the spell and bolster the heroes. Together they defeated the League of Malevolence. In the end, Strongheart prevailed and the realm was saved, but he learned a valuable lesson. He could not do it alone. And with that, he closes the book. Night begins to fall. All of the little forest creatures cheer. Yay! Yay, Strongheart! Yarn Spinner says, "Well, my friends, let me spin you such a web as to sleep in safety. The mushroom circle will activate at dawn, so any time after that you will be able to travel back to the land of Prismia."
I thank him gratefully.
Thank you.
He stands up and he begins to weave a great silken ball around the clearing, and it's like a fully circular ball with a little door in, and he says, "There you go, my friends. You'll be safe here, for none shall hurt you within my lands." And then, like, kaiju-sized, this spider heads off into the forest.
Staying in character, I'll just, as he handed us off, I'll go,
So, you sit in the clearing with the large globular hut in it. Are you going to rest in the hut? Do you wish to perhaps hide somewhere else?
I'm asleep on the floor. If the hut's around me, that's fine. If not, I'm just sleeping where
I'll
I
go and hide in the hut.
I suppose hiding in the hut sounds like the best idea.
So you head into the hut, and Elvala begins to meditate. The rest of you fall asleep. You drag the sleeping Nutmeg by his ankle into the hut, presumably.
Wait, I'll stand and watch if anybody wants us to.
Well, I said I was going to do it, or whatever. We could take turns, I suppose. Just to be careful. Not that I don't trust Richie.
Well, you all fall asleep easily, full of the wonderful food, except... And even those on watch nod lightly, but you manage to sleep. And as you're at rest, your mind is filled with especially vivid dreams and memories of the Witchlight Carnival and Hither. You remember your favourite parts of the Witchlight Carnival. Which was your favourite part?
smashing that bloke's head. Oh, sorry.
What was your favourite part as your mind wanders?
Really snails.
What favourite part about what again?
The Witchlight Carnival.
Food eating competition.
Pouring that jug of water down the front of Mr. Light's britches.
So you all sleep and like shift in your sleep, laughing and giggling. But each of you see, Andy, you see in the stalls watching the races a giant ghostly spider. It somewhat resembles Yarn Spinner, but it's transparent and not quite as big. You're not sure it was there the first time. She looks standing off behind Mr. Light. Again, you see a giant ghostly spiders, and it just seems to be sitting there watching you. Each of you has a vivid dream of the Witchlight Carnival, and in each dream, this spider just sits and watches what goes on. And as you relive all of these wonderful memories, you're somewhat surprised to see a large ghostly spider looming in the background of the events. It takes no part in them, it just simply watches.
This is how he gathers stories from people's memories. We dream and he takes the stories.
And you awake feeling wonderful and refreshed in the morning. There's the tweeting of birds. And you realise that you do not know each other's names. And then you realise that you don't know your own name.
Oh, crap.
Oh, wonderful.
And we remember the racing snails.
You do remember that. The only thing you seem to have forgotten is your actual name.
Hello?
Right.
Who are you?
I will take me cassock.
Where am I?
I will take me cassock off and read the name tag sewn into the collar.
Right. Apparently, it's somebody called Britwick, but it can't be your name for you no longer remember it.
Well,
you seem to be wearing somebody else's cassock.
Either it is my name or I'm wearing somebody else's clothes. Yes.
And as you go ahead, El.
Do I know who these people are?
You remember that you travel with them, but for the life of you can't remember who the hell they are.
Do we remember this spider?
Yep. A small voice rings from just outside the hut. Oh, God, not this again. You two-leggers are all so boring. It's wake up, what's my name, freak out, eat food, go to bed. Pfft, yawn.
What's that then? I'll pop my head out and go, who's that then?
Right, sitting on the other side of the door appears to be a small female fox because it's got like big foxy cartoon anime eyes and she flicks her tail left and right.
You make a fortune on the internet, woman.
I don't know what that is, but I probably would. You two legs are all the bloody same. Do you not have anything interesting to say? I can't remember who I am.
I can't remember who I am either.
How do we get our memories back then?
Well, there was the two legs just like the other day, just doing the same thing. I've only been awakened by Yarn Spinner recently, just wanted to hear new things and learn new things, but you all talk the same.
You want to hear something new? Tell you what, I'll show you something you've never seen before.
Take your clothes on, not me.
No. Oh, who's that in?
Maybe that's what he likes for dinner.
Yeah, could be. Look, come here. Come and look in this bag. I'll show the fox the bag of turns.
Like she wrinkles her nose up. That smells terrible. The other two legs didn't smell like that. Do you always smell like that?
Oh, that might just be a big bag of shit that we're carrying around, love.
Does anybody know why I'm carrying a sack of shite?
I don't know. It was probably a good idea at the time.
I wish I could remember what it was, though.
Yeah.
Maybe you know that other two legs.
Could you describe him?
He's got no fur and two legs.
Oh, very odd.
And he smells not as bad as that one with the big nose. And then
doesn't ring a bell.
She sits there like a cat sits there and just flicks her foxy tail backwards and forth.
No, definitely doesn't ring a bell. So how did your mate remember who he was?
Oh, he didn't remember who he was, but I went to talk to him yesterday, and he was very rude, and he said I had to bugger off because he was planning on doing an heist or something to get his memory back. I don't know what an heist is.
An heist? Oh, You've got to do an heist. Got to do an heist. Where is he?
Well, I could take you to him if I like.
Yeah, please. Come on, everyone. We're doing an heist.
Very well. Are you
Can't say no to an heist.
taking that big bag of dung with you?
We are. Not sure why, but it's Must be important if
That
we're carrying it.
smells scary. Whatever did that dung is really nasty and powerful. Because,
Yeah,
we
lovely.
us animals, we scent mark places, and you don't want to mess with that. Whatever left that thing.
I think I had a cousin that used to do the same thing. For every alley.
Right, well, shall we go then?
Yep.
Yes.
Come on, everyone. We've got to do it
Alright.
right.
She hops up and saunters through the forest the way only an animal can, like she's king in her own kingdom. And she chatters inanely, making small talk to you as she leads you through the dark forest, which seems to have more shadows and less light than you remember yesterday. And you arrive at a spider silk hut similar to your own. A short fellow with rotting tusks and greyish pallor stands at the threshold, and he watches you as you approach. Who might you be? He calls in common.
Dunno. Who are you?
You as well, eh? I think you should just call me nobody.
Well, nobody. We heard from a reliable source that you're going to do an heist, and the rules of the heist say everyone's got to be in on it.
Is that right? It'll be that filthy little animal down there, is it? And she goes,
Couldn't
haughtily
say.
turns
I'm not a grass.
her tail to him.
I would never say I'm no grass.
So, you've had your memory stolen off that filthy spider, have you?
Is that who did it?
It's gotta be. Did you see a ghostly spider in your dreams?
Did.
Yeah, that figures. Not to be trusted, stealing names from people. It's only a matter of time till he steals our brains and eats them all.
Does that happen?
Well, not
That
yet.
would explain my cousin Baz.
He says,
He's
well,
thick as two short planks.
I have been hoping to find some companions with which to travel to where I believe my memories are hidden.
Will your memories and our memories probably being the same thing?
Well, you would think so, wouldn't you? There's a library or a scriptorium or something deep in the forest over that way.
Okay.
He says, but I've been here by myself and I'm not bloody prepared to try it alone. Because have you seen the size of that bloody spider?
I've seen bigger in my bath. I really like baths, to be honest. But, bravado. It's an heist. We've got to do an heist. You go for it, nobody. We're in like Flynn, whoever he is. Could be one of you.
Well,
could be me.
I
Are you
sugge-
Flynn?
I suggest we wait till nightfall and we go around, we take our tools and we go around and break into the place.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for the rozzers.
See that big spider, he sleeps in the night, so we break in, we have a look, we have a rummage through the books and the scrolls and we see if we can find out who he is.
Good idea.
And then you go yours way and I goes my way.
Unless we find out who we are and it turns out we're all related in some sort of strange family.
God
At which
help
point
us.
we'll have to hang out together.
God help us if we're all bloody related. Look at this size of you. Look at the size of that bugger, he says, pointing to Dobbsy.
Yeah, but I mean, I've got cousins that look like that.
So, he says to
My granny Alice really put it about.
the others, are you all in for this then?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Got to do an heist. You can't not do an heist.
Very well then. You're welcome to sit in my hut and don't touch nothing though. And we'll wait till nightfall. Is this agreeable?
It is.
Alright.
Very well. Unless you want to do anything then, we will skip forward. We'll do a montage of you sitting there, bored, perhaps. Nutmeg.
I'm not bored. I'm
Picking his
planning the
toes.
heist. No, I'm planning the heist. I'm making a map on the floor of a place I've never seen, but I imagine it's how it'll look.
It's exactly how it looks.
Right, this is an important thing, okay? We don't know what we're called, so we'll all need names. So we'll need code names so the rozzers can't work out who we are.
I'll be Mr. Green.
You be Mr. Green. That's a good idea. You be Mr. Green. I'll be Mr. Pink.
I'll look at me fur and go, I'll be Mr. White.
All
And
right,
I'll
wait.
be Miss Scarlet.
You can be Miss Scarlet.
Oh, the Scarlet Woman.
Ooh. What about you, Dobbsy?
You
I
horsey
guess
man,
I'm,
you mean?
You Mr. Horsey Man,
I guess I'm Mr. Black.
Mr. Black. And
It can't be Mr. Black. Nobody's Mr. Black. Everybody want to be Mr. Bloody Black if somebody wants to be Mr. Black.
I don't want to be Mr. Black. I'm Mr. Pink. Goes with my dressing gown. So, if we're all colours, are you a colour too? You could be Mr. White. Oh, we've got one of them. Mr. Blue. Oh, we've got one of them. Have we got a blue? Anyone a blue? I'm not very good with names. I'll call you Mr. Blue. Is there anything in them blue? You got anything remotely blue about him?
No, the guy is wearing very soft leather armor, and it seems to be so well oiled that it barely makes a squeak or a rustle noise. All of his equipment is either strapped closely to his body so it doesn't rattle or clank, or it has like cloth padding around it.
For some reason, I want to do something to him, but I can't think what it is.
He's a tea leaf.
We'll call him Jippo.
Nobody's fine, thank you.
Yeah, I know, but it's not much of a code name, is it? Nobody. It's not a colour. Code names got to be coloured, don't they?
Not unless you're somebody.
Could be. Mr. Orange, how about Orange?
Right, so you
Avocado's a colour.
spend a day planning a heist for a place you haven't been. And that nobody has not had the courage to attempt to enter himself.
Yeah.
But he, at nightfall, he stands up and says, well, he puts 2 daggers. Yeah, he snips them into his sheaths, Rambo style. Even though he didn't need to when they were already in there, he takes them out and then puts them back in at the end of the montage. Right, this way then. My new friends.
Indubitably.
And he leads you off into the darkened forest. It's spooky in the way that only enchanted forests at night can be. The noises frighten you. Fireflies buzz about, casting weak light around. But he leads you for about half an hour through the forest. There's no other. You don't find any paths. You don't see any other creatures. You just see the little pricks of light of small creatures in the undergrowth. The dense thicket of roots and thorns gives way to an imposing wooden door flanked by 2 twisting thorny plants. Above the door, a lattice of spider silk webbing forms the words written in several languages which read, "Only an open book may enter."
Well, we're going to need disguises. If we all dress up as different books, right, he'll not know who's who.
I don't think they've actually provided us with an NPC for Nobody, which would be quite unfortunate, would it? Yeah, they haven't. So Mr. Nobody is a token marked N.
Nigel! His name's Nigel!
Oh, a bastard.
So you should be able to see the poor bastard. He's so generic, he doesn't even have a token. Actually, I should be able to find one.
You know how I can't remember our own names? Can we remember what we can actually do?
Yeah, it only seems to be your names that's missing, and it's quite fucking annoying. Because, like, every time you seem to do something, there's at least a slightly better token than an N. Every time you seem to do something, you seem to get shafted.
Well, that seems to just be the way of things, innit?
Right, so that I'll post this in the chat. There is the words that I speak before you. Shelock, you've approached the door. As you approach, you get within 5 feet, and a voice speaks out. A magical mouth appears in the door. It looks like a spider mouth with the little mandibles, and it says, "Oh, why have you come to the scriptorium?"
To read.
We're here doing a survey about reading habits of arachnids.
Right, the
And
mouth
it
says,
seems like a good place to
"Liar!"
start.
And chunk, 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 chunk. You hear bolts and deadlocks snapping into place.
I'll step
Nobody
forward.
says, "Well, you fucked that up."
Wait,
you've
what
got
I
one.
need to read? Oh, need to read the books to find our names?
True, innit? And I was going to survey him if I knew what one of them was.
I'll step forward and say, knock on the door and say, "Are you still there?
It's all silent now.
Come to find who we are."
I shall cast knock on the door.
You cast knock upon the door, and the reverse of the that happens. Ka-chunk, 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 and the locks all unlock before them. But as you do that, the 2 vines spring to life. And
Of course.
so let us roll for initiative. Select him. Roll for initiative. Very well. It is Shelock. You are up first. The vines whip about and look like as if they're about to attack people.
I shall pull my rapier and slice at the nearest one, if I can target it.
One would hope so, as you're right next to it. You stab the vine. You slash it, and a little bit of plant material and leaves fall off. Is there anything else you want to do?
See, I just check my spells to see if there's any ones I can use as a bonus action. Nope, that looks like it.
Well, that looks like it. Okay, next up we have Britwick.
Right. Well, first of all, I'm going to dance back to there, and then I will. Where's me key thing? There it is. I will hit 2-point key, and I will cast my arms.
You
There we
punch the
go.
creature with the first arm.
Yep. There you go. That's me done for the moment.
Okay, Elvanalor, this vine has thrashed its way to life right next to you.
I'll step back to there.
It will get an opportunity attack against you.
Right. If I step back there, I'm still in melee with it, so it'll not get attack of opportunity, surely.
Yeah, if you're still in range.
And then I'm going to cast Firebolt and hope the thing starts to burn.
That's what I wanted to check.
Are these plants rooted in the ground, Rich? Or
They are,
they
yes.
starting to move? Okay.
They're rooted in the ground, but they're whipping about. They're little vines like arms. You attack it with fire, but it doesn't seem to be terribly damaged. Are you done now?
I am. Yes, I am.
All right, so it's the turn of the vine that is next to Sheoluk. It lashes out at you, Sheoluk, and you dodge nimbly out of the way. It's the turn of the second vine, who targets Elvana, and again the vine lashes out. It hits.
Ouch!
You take some bludgeoning damage as it wraps itself around you, and then you are grappled.
Ow!
And restrained as they wrap around you and hold you, and you feel poison seeping into your
cosmic
system. Dobsy.
Oh!
It is your turn, Dobsy.
Right. Has the one to the south got Elvira in it?
Yes, not Elvira. You keep saying that.
Elvana. And I know what I meant.
Yes, the one to the south has.
Right. I am going to now believe I can apply rogue snake attack on myself.
You can, because they both have targets adjacent to them, so you can.
And I will whip behind it.
A minute.
Or there.
Okay, you move up to the vine. I almost called it by its proper name there.
Stab the shit out of it.
I almost called it by its proper name there. I had to give nobody stats because now you're fighting. So let's turn him to neutral. Go ahead, stab away, Dobsy. Stab away.
I'm just trying to remember which one have I got in my main hand.
You dagger +1 normally. You get +1 to hit. It does less damage, but you get your sneak attack damage with it anyway. Yeah, that's a big hit. Have you got your sneak attack on? No, you do not. Why didn't you have your sneak attack on?
I did. I applied it.
No, you applied the effect sneak attack on turn. You didn't apply the other one.
Fuck's sake.
Make a shortcut. The damage. You need to apply the damage.
Yeah, I've already got it on the bottom. I just hit the wrong thing.
Right, well, it's an extra 6 points of damage. I'll have to roll it. But it takes 6 damage. Now identified creature 2. It looks barely hurt. Nutmeg. Oh, sorry. Are you finished your turn?
I will. No, I'll offhand it.
Okay, doke.
Now, offhand, that's disadvantage, isn't it?
No.
Is it? I thought it was.
No, just make sure on your actions menu, your weapon, it says O, which you have a dagger at the moment.
Offhand. Yeah.
Because you don't get the damage bonus, you only get the... that is a hit. You stab it twice, and sap leaks out from wounds in its side.
Okay, and then I use, I think it's fancy footwork to disengage without reprisal.
Okay, doke.
I would like to rage.
Oh dear, you rage. What happens when you rage? Shall we find out?
Yes, we should.
All creatures within 10 foot of you receive the benefit of second wind at your level.
There you go.
Elvanalor receives magic lashes out to all creatures, Earl, and you roll what's second wind again?
It's D10 plus con.
Yeah, roll D10. Everything heals for 3 damage. So that's Elvana.
Oh, nice. I felt that.
That's
whatever you did, it tickled.
also the creature. Creature 2 gets 3 damage back. It says, right, you've raged and heal everything.
I will recklessly smash its head in.
Go ahead. That is a miss because it was terrible.
I'm too busy foaming at the mouth and flailing about rather than hitting it.
Yeah. Is there anything else you want to do? Right, it's nobody's turn. He steps back and throws 2 daggers that he pulls out from an inside belt. at the injured one. First one hits. Why does he do? Oh, okay. So he does that damage, but the dagger itself, he seems to have hit something vital as he does more damage with it. And then he throws a second dagger. So he does another 7 damage to the creature. That is 34 full. And then he throws a second dagger at it, which misses. He swears. Quite a violent swear. Sherlock, we're back to you.
I shall cast Bane on both of these plant things.
That seems like an excellent idea. Yeah, both fail as you sing a song of miss. You shout miss, miss, cat, piss at them. So is that your main action?
Yeah, I haven't got any other actions. Unless stabbing them with my offhand dagger counts as a bonus action.
Yeah, it does. Make sure it's set to offhand. It is. Or stab ahead. Stab away, stab away, stab away. It's a hit, it's a hit, it's a hit. Doing an extra point of damage. There, that taught him. Britwick.
Right. Well, I think it's time to use the arms and then move a bit. So we will attack it. It can have some necrotic damage. And then we'll attack again. And it can have some more necrotic damage.
Yeah, it can. As you lash into the creature with your big arms.
And then we'll just dance out the road a bit. Make space for everybody else.
Elvana.
To me, Snoodle, to me.
You take a whole shitload of poison damage. Elvana slumps unconscious or possibly dead in the arms of the vine.
Oops.
And it's the vines go. It's targeting you, Dave, as it attempts to wrap itself around you. It hits. You succeed in concentration. However, you are grappled, restrained, and you also have that poison damage. Creature 2 attacks Nutmeg as it attempts to constrict you. It hits. Damage, grappled, effect.
Why, you dirty bastard.
And then you feel poison leaching into your skin. Dubsy.
Right. I will. Has it still got hold of Elvana, or has it let it go?
No, it has hold of Elvana, who's slumped unconscious. And you can see her skin has been pricked by many thorns. It's also got hold of Nutmeg and Sherlock.
Shite and assholes. Right, okay. I'm going to go in again. Sneak attack thing and stab the shit out of it.
Go on, Dubsy. You hit. Do that damage, son. You stab it and you cut a great chunk of plant material away and sap runs down onto the floor. It looks quite badly damaged. You offhand it, do 2 damage. Right, a Nutmeg.
I'm going to use me ability to disengage, but what I want to know is, can I move like up and one to the left? I'm just going to do it so you can see what I mean. To there, then there, and try and drag Elvana, or will that be an action?
No, it's an action because she's entangled in vines.
Okay, then I'll just disengage.
Right, you dance back out of range once more. Nutmeg, you are grappled and restrained, and you've just had an enormous flood of poison through your system.
Excellent. Just where I like him. I've got him pinned.
Do you want to attempt to break free?
Yes.
Because you
Can I
can't do
attack
anything
still?
else.
Yeah, I can't attack, so
No,
I'll
you
break free.
can't.
I'd like to break free.
That is a natural 20. Do you want to Hulk Hogan this thing?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to bite it.
You bite it and it goes ow, and it withdraws, and you don't have the ongoing poison effect because you're no longer grappled or restrained.
No, I'm just really angry.
Apparently,
Right.
it requires you to be held so they can pump poison into you constantly to do the poison damage.
The bit I'm going to, in me off hat, I'm going to pick up the bit of it that I bit off, and I'm going to beat it to death with it next round.
Okay, that'll count as an improvised weapon, however.
I don't care.
Right, so you
I
still have
don't
your
care.
bonus action.
I've got nothing I can do with a bonus, really. I'll swear at it, spit. I'll bash up my shield.
Okay.
Or kick it.
Yeah, I'll kick it.
That is an unarmed strike. You may make an unarmed strike against it. You kick it and do nothing. They kick, they do nothing.
I'm just raging like
Is that your turn?
No, that's me.
It's nobody again. He again, like lightning fast, pulls 2 daggers out. Apparently, I'm rather good with daggers, he says, as he hurls 2 more daggers at the vine. The first one misses. Come on, nobody. The second one hits. As he done 10 damage to the creature. Again, hitting a vital spot, a pod bursts. And he pulls out 2 more daggers. Where you're getting them from, you do not know. Sherlock takes a bunch of damage and goes unconscious. Britwick.
Right. Right. Well, I shall dance into there
Mm-hmm.
and attack it some more. All right, I'll attack it again then. Yeah. And I shall dance back to here again then. In and out like lightning.
Elvana, death saving throw fails. Creature 1, Andy, you are shocked to find that it has a reach of 20 foot and it lashes out
I'm not the least bit shocked, to be fair.
and it attempts to constrict you.
But I shall have to attempt to dodge it then.
It hits, doing effect grappled, effect restrained, and you have that poison effect.
Lovely.
You can't move as it appears to. Right, it attacks you again, Earl, and misses at Dobbsy. You now have 2 people grappled by the vines, as it were. Grabbed by the vines.
Yeah, quick question for you. If I use charge, it says if you move at least 30 feet straight towards the target, then hit it with a melee weapon on the same turn, you can immediately follow that attack with a bonus action, make one attack at the target with the hooves.
Yes.
Can I still do a dual attack and then use a bonus action for my hooves?
No, because your offhand attack is your bonus attack.
Right, okay, that's fair enough. I will dodge in and stab the shit out of it again.
Go on, Dobbsy. We need you to save the day, Dobbsy. It hits. It's a stabby. You do 16 damage. Oh, you've cut almost entirely through it. It's hanging on by a thread. Nutmeg. Oh, sorry, are you disengaging again?
Yeah.
I will recklessly beat it with itself.
Very good.
That's unarmed, isn't it?
Yeah. You hit.
How much damage does itself do?
Two-handed.
Okay.
Sorry, no, one-handed.
One-handed.
You do 4 bludgeoning damage. So go on, apply your damage. As you thrash it.
I don't know how to apply 4 damage.
It's on your unarmed damage. Your unarmed strike.
Oh yeah, 4 bludgeoning. Sorry, did that work?
No. Yeah. So as you lash the vine, it severs it from the root system and it flops to the ground.
Can I use my bonus action to stamp on it 3 times and start screaming at it?
Yes, you can.
I will do that. That's my turn.
That's your turn. So nobody says, pfft. So they've got range, steps back out of its range, pulls 2 daggers like lightning out of nowhere, and throws them. The second creature. It hits, and then he throws a second one, which also hits. That's better, he says. The creature is heavily damaged. Snoodle. Sherlock succeeds at a death saving throw. Britwick takes a whole shitload of poison damage and goes unconscious.
Yeah, of course he does.
They've got range. They've got no range. Elvana Law succeeds in a death saving throw. Creature 1. He can only reach, really, Earl, so he lashes out at you, Earl. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you because these are canny brutal-like for the level. Oh, yeah, it is. Grappled, restrained, and poisoned as long as you're restrained. Dobbsy.
I don't know whether to drag people out or just kill this thing. I'll just kill it. Charge in, stab it.
Yeah, I would use your thing to get advantage, like your inspiration, if I was you. So click the advantage button. Now's the time for the advantage, chaps. Yeah, it's a good hit. The creature is looking heavily damaged.
Excuse me.
Disengage.
It's now heavily injured and you disengage, pulling back 15 feet. Nutmeg! Goes unconscious. Yeah, nobody's like, yeah, I'm still within range. So he backs up again, firing those lethal daggers of his. The dagger sinks into the vine and it collapses to the ground, releasing the people. Nobody and Dobbsy presumably run round and apply medical first aid to the rest of the party.
Oh, yes.
Saving their lives.
That would be really helpful. Wait a minute. Where is it?
Creature dies horribly. You lie unconscious.
Drag them all
on the
out
floor.
safe, get them on the recovery position, take funny photos, I asked nobody if he knows, can he remember if he can heal people or not.
I cannot. Apparently, I can kill plants, though.
Yeah, me too.
Well, I guess we've got nothing to do. But wait until they wake up, then. That's going to eat most of the night, however.
Well, try and make them the rest of them as comfortable as we can. Suck the poison out, all that shit.
A couple of hours later, you guys wake up. You're not dead, luckily.
Hey.
Oh, what happened?
You've got like big puncture marks from the thorns in you as you awake. Nobody said, well, that went well.
I think I
course
lost
it did.
my temper a bit.
Yeah, just rest, lads, and then we'll heal each other up.
Well, what are you doing? Taking a short rest?
In the middle of a night. Suppose it wouldn't hurt.
If I'm conscious, am I conscious now?
You are. You've got 1 hit point.
I will cast Healing Spirit.
Who do you want to heal? You've got 5 uses.
Britwick.
And you.
Sherlock.
Hang on, I'll just drag on Britwick, yeah.
Sherlock.
Yeah.
Myself.
Yeah.
Nutmeg. And is anybody else hurt?
No.
Give Nutmeg an extra one because Barbarian needs some extra hit points. He's our tank.
I've only got 2 hit points.
Yes, because you only rolled a 1.
Oh shit. I'll put it on myself and then I'll put a cure wounds on Nutmeg.
Okay, if you take an hour short rest, you can use half your hit die to heal up.
All right. Well, I'll refrain from using that last cure wounds. We'll take a short rest and I'll see where people are then. Right. So I've used a healing spirit. So it's level 2. Tick that off. And that used what? Half me.
Half your hit dice.
What level am I again?
4, I think.
Yeah. So we wouldn't have 2 hit dice. Yeah, worth of healing.
Yeah, it's got there in your hit dice. It says 4. You've got 4 hit dice, so you can heal 2 hit dice. Anybody who's injured can use 2 of their hit dice to heal.
Oh, hang on.
That didn't go off. That's me
Two.
on. Sorry.
It did. I think you only got 1 Elvana, though. Yeah, you need to click another one.
Okay. That's a bit better. Right, let's have a look, see where everybody's at. Nutmeg 13. Yes, I'll put a cure wounds on Nutmeg. Where are you? Right, that's a bit better, isn't it?
Yeah, that is much better.
Everybody feeling a bit better now?
Yes, thank you.
Quick question, Rich.
Mm.
If I wanted to try and harvest some of this poison that this plant's been using, what skill would I need?
Probably nature.
Okay.
But it's not like normal venom, whereas normal venom applies and it stays on. That venom would only work when they were actively pumping it into you while you were grappled.
Ah, right. Okay, that's fine, no worries.
Right, nobody says, well, after all of the kumbaya and all of that, are we ready to go in? I see bookshelves ahead.
Aye.
By the way, lads and lasses, if these things regenerate, just pull back out of range.
You don't have to tell me twice after that. That hurt.
Stepping into the room. The large hall is filled with rows of bookshelves stacked with tomes of all shapes and sizes. Across the ceiling in spider silk is written the phrase, "Don't judge a book by its cover." Nobody begins to scan the southern shelves. Crap it is, he mutters under his breath. Got to be here somewhere. Starts to pull random books off the shelf and cast them onto the floor.
Look at the books and see which ones have been disturbed recently that he hasn't touched.
It seems to be, Dave, that you examine the books and none of them are particularly dustier than the others. Either some magic dusts all of the books or they are used quite frequently. However, a couple of titles catches your eyes. One is Claretta's Web, and another one is Dr. Lorienstein. You want to pick the book up and have a read of the description on the back of the book jacket?
I'll have a read of the book, of the inside the book, because you can't judge the book by its cover.
It's
You got to have a look what's in the book.
So you flick the door open, you can have a point of inspiration, Dave. You flick the book open and get a point of inspiration, and as you scan through it, the book is a story about an awakened pig that is saved from slaughter by a friendly spider who writes nice things about it in her webs. And And as you examine Dr. Larienstein, it's a gothic story about an eccentric surgeon whose body died many years ago and now lives as a brain in a jar. In an attempt to reanimate his body, he gives the gift of life to a being of his own creation. The creature is shunned by society as it seeks to learn the meaning of love.
I'm getting deja vu effect here of things in jars.
I know, me too.
Yeah.
Is anyone else scanning the books?
I'll have a
Yes.
little bit of book as well. I'll look for one that's got bite marks in it.
You scan along the books. You notice there are 2 double doors in the northern part of the western wall. But as you scan the books, you see one marked Lord of the Fairy Rings.
Ooh, read that.
The book appears to tell the story of some halflings who accidentally travel into the Feywild through a fairy ring. They go on an epic quest to throw a cursed bell into a volcano in order to open a portal to return to their homeworld.
Someone should make a movie out of this.
Bracy, you find a book called The Magic of Creative Writing.
Ooh.
It's a book about writing pieces of fiction, and it appears to hold some arcane magical spells in the back.
Ooh.
And that is found in the self-help book. Right. Sherlock moves to the north. The northern shelves along the back wall are uncategorized, and they apparently have several jumbled tomes in them.
I look at these doors. Do they have anything written on them?
They do not. They just appear to be large, sturdy doors with standard handles.
Dubsy, could you check these doors for traps, please?
Of course I will, mate.
Nobody continues to scan the books along the bottom. Crap, crap, crap. It's all crap.
I will check for traps for Davy.
Okay, give me a perception roll. There are no traps upon the door.
I'll let him know it's clear.
Right, so Dobbsy has moved up to the northern doors, yeah?
I'll follow him. I'll go there with him.
I'll open both the doors.
Right, you push the doors open, and the side room here contains a half full bookshelf labelled "Please return books here" in spider silk letters. 2 doorways lead off from the room, each labelled with the words "Quiet please" in spider silk above the door. Very well, you step into the door, Dave, and see 2 sets of double doors to the north.
Right, I shall cast cantrip light on myself so I can see better.
Very well.
I'll cast it on my dagger.
Okay, you can cast it on whatever you like. That is up to you.
Mr. Dubsy, would you like to check to traps these 2 doors, please?
Of course, my friend.
I'll request a roll from you, Dubsy. You search the doors, but you do not find any traps.
I shall go to the nearest door to me and I shall open it.
Right, you open the eastern room, and hunched over in front of you is a large bear.
Oh.
The bear will appear shortly in the combat tracker as Richie desperately tries to find it.
Sure.
I bet it hasn't got a token.
They don't call me Jason.
So you've found the secret door in the uncategorized bit. Do you want to make a Chak Trops roll?
Aye, please.
There you go, make me a Chak Trops. Right, you search carefully, moving books to the side, but you do not see any traps. Nobody comes up. He also examines the door and proclaims that there are no traps to be had.
I shall open the door.
Right, pushing the door open, you see a room, and from what you can see where you are, it's hung with silk tapestries of bright swirling colours. Blank scrolls and pieces of paper are haphazardly stacked in countless crumpled paper balls litter the floor. A large, beautiful Persian-looking carpet is on the front.
Elvana, Nutmeg, over here.
I'll go and have a look, see what he's found.
I step into the room.
You step into the room. On the far end of the room stands a podium made of roots, illuminated by a single magical candle. It holds an open book with text only covering half the page. Nobody follows you in, begins to look through the books and the scrolls on the floor.
I'll go to the podium.
You head to the podium.
I'm following him, see where he's going.
You creep through the bookshelf into the room.
Ah, right, okay. Ooh, this is odd. This is very strange.
If I remember correctly, the missing things that other people found were different things, so it might not be in the form of a book.
That's a good point.
Well, there is one large book at the end, and the rest are scrolls and books scattered around. Nobody looks around, searching through the book.
I'll have a look at the book.
This is trash. Trash. and just starts tearing pages out. Throws them on the floor.
Have a look at the big book.
The book is a new work which is not yet completed, and it is entitled The Wild Beyond the Witchlight by Yarn Spinner.
Ooh.
I shall read this book.
As you begin to read the book, you see, and the people who were children came to the carnival when they were young, and they'd lost something, and there was Sheiluk the halfling, and you remember your name. It is Sheiluk.
I've found my name, I say.
Oh, very well. Am I in there?
I don't know. Come and have a look. Gesture to Mr. Nobody as well.
Nobody comes and has a look. He says, "My name's not in here. I don't know who these people are. Carnival? I've never been to a carnival in my life. Waste of time, rubbish," he says, and then begins to search through some of the other books cast aside on the floor. "Ah," he says, "this is mine."
I step back.
He steps back. Who's up next?
I'll have a look.
And you read, Elvanalor, the elf princess, who came when she was young and lost something very dear to her. And you remember your name, it is Elvanalor.
Oh, wow. How did I forget that?
I'll wander over to where Sheiluk's hiding about.
So you head into the secret room.
I tell Dobsy that I found out where our names are. And Mr. Brickwick as well.
Yeah, so the long story short, you all head into the secret room and read the story, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, and you turn to the last page before it's writing only extends halfway through the book, and the last pages. And though they explored the secret library and found their names, they found no creatures that wish them ill will. And then it seems like it's trailed off as if it's finished halfway through the sentence. And you remember your names.
I'll close the book, let out a massive fart, then open the book again.
And as you've opened the book, and lo, Nutmeg let loose a terrific fart that thundered about the room and smelt of rotten cabbage.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
So in the room is a whole bunch of fine parchments and inks, and this candle, which seems to burn but does not melt.
Yeah, we can't steal anything because we'll be bad guests then.
Oh, I've took something to read for later, but I left something in its place.
You could be, yeah, you could be bad guests if you want to stick to the rules.
I will take the book and leave my balloon animal.
Okay, which book are you taking?
That one?
That one is the vines actually grow into the spine of the book. You can't remove that one.
Oh, but I wanted it to tell us everything I'd done after I'd done it. That's incredibly helpful for me. And he was upset by not having...
By being unable to remove the book. So nobody says...
And he searched for his hacksaw.
Well, it seems that was the secret, that filthy big spider taking people's names to make stories from them.
Cheeky bastard.
So he wasn't following the rules of the thing, because he didn't give us something in return.
He did not, said nobody. You notice that nobody has torn a book into tiny little shreds. He's ripped all the pages out and torn all the little book up.
On a bad day.
I asked Mr. Nobody, what's your name, if I may ask him?
My name's Zarek, and I'm pleased to make your acquaintance.
But surely if the spider stole our names, by the rules of reciprocity, we should be allowed to steal something from him.
Yes, exactly.
So, Zarek, what are you doing here anyway?
I came through a cave, got lost. I was looking for something in thither, and I got lost and came through this cave. Ended up here, wherever the hell this is.
Oh, what we're looking for might be able to help you.
I don't think you can. I'm sorry to be abrupt, but I have to get out of here right now. It's been...
How well do you know thither?
Not that well.
Hold on, hold your horses a minute. You seem to be in a bit of a rush.
Yeah, well, I do
Name of the story.
a mission to complete.
Oh, yeah? What kind of mission?
I'm not at liberty to say, I'm afraid. It's for my employers.
Can you write it down?
No, I'm afraid not. He says, I suggest we all get out of here before that damn spider comes back.
It's a good point.
I want a piece of that spider.
It's an awfully big spider.
Can we not do the diplomatic equivalent of going and kicking it in the cunt?
Yes, I want to go and do that as well.
No,
Zarek.
guys, that's mean. Come on, let's go. And yeah, I checked that as well. we should head out. As we leave, I'll flip me cigarette like me stub me cigarette over my shoulder.
Right, so is anybody taking anything, or are you leaving all of this stuff and heading out?
Oh, I shall leave all of the stuff.
Right, so you head out.
That book, sorry, Rich, the book that I picked up with the spells and
Yes.
said there's a couple of spells in the back. Can I show to Elvana and see if they're any use to her?
You can, but they appear to be arcane spells, so it's not something anybody could cast in the party, sadly.
Ah, right.
What?
I hate magic.
Sherlock not cast them?
I
Actually,
can have a look.
yeah, you probably could. Yeah, I will find those for you, he says, looking madly through. Has the following spells in the back. Cause fear, charm person, comprehend languages, illusionary script, sleep, and Tasha's hideous laughter.
I've already got Tasha's.
You can tuck the book under your arm and take it with you for later if you like. I will find it in the parcel. Yes? No?
Yeah.
Right, so you tuck the book under your arm and head to the door. And as you arrive at the door,
Oh, yeah, we'll go.
in through the front door,
Comes a bloody great big spider.
comes a bloody great big spider. Although it's not the bloody great big spider you were expecting.
Kill it with sanctions.
And
You're not the bloody great big spider we were expecting.
you're not the bloody great big spider. It doesn't have... I'll sort that spell better for you later.
This is not the bloody great big spider we were looking for.
It comes in through the front door, and it's translucent, and it glows a blue colour. As the creature comes in, and it looks like Yarn Spinner, but Yarn Spinner is the size of a barn or perhaps an inn as this thing comes through the door. What does the stories do? Where are you going?
To make more stories for you to read.
No, don't leave.
But then there'll be no new stories for you. No new adventures.
I'm going to rage charge him and start hitting him.
I'm trying to be as persuasive as possible.
Right, yeah, so you start being persuasive and select all NPCs, select all PCs, and Earl charges them. You rage,
Yeah.
Here we go again.
and I am rolling for initiative for everybody. First up is Britwick. It's this ghostly spider. It does look exactly like Yarn Spinner, except all down of half one side of its face is all like black pustules. And it is ghostly, so it's transparent as well, so it looks quite icky, is the best way I can describe it.
Right.
The stories stay
It's
here.
Icky Wicky Spider.
Icky Wicky Spider. Britwick. Icky Wicky Spider's there at you.
Right. I don't suppose I've still got my arms up, have I?
No, you've been searching for quite some time now.
Right. Well, I'm gonna have to cast the other 2 points of key, and I think. Right then, I shall dodge forward, and I shall give said spider a good aim.
A
In
good
theory.
Spiden.
A good Spiden.
Yep, with a bit of the old necrotic damage. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it seems to be immune to necrotic damage. It being
But it's
Lovely.
good.
a
It'll be
member of the
radiant.
dead.
Hang on.
It misses with the second one.
Yep. And then I shall dodge back to there.
Dobsy.
Kill it.
I'm going to dart in.
Actually, I should roll your rage, shouldn't I, Earl? Because you raged first.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens when Earl rages.
Oh, God.
Earl, you are intoxicated until the next long rest.
Excellent.
So sparkles come all around Nutmeg. And he's like, what is that?
Did you look at my pint, you great 9-legged bastard, you?
Oh, okay, oh, I love it.
I love this so much.
Right, so you start shouting abuse and start singing football songs.
Here we go, here we go, here we go.
And intoxicated, I'm applying the effect to you because I like these effects.
2
I
spikes
is
on me
singing-
shirt.
Vindaloo.
Who's the bastard? Who's a ghost? Who's a ghost? Who's the bastard? Who's a ghost? Dobsy runs forward.
2 spiders on me shirt.
You indeed get sneak attack as Dobsy stabs it with the dagger. and then stabs it with the other dagger.
Ooh.
So
And then
no
I
damage.
disengage and run away.
So you disengage. Your offhand is your bonus attack, so you can't disengage.
Using Rakish Audacity? Oh, not Rakish Audacity.
Yeah.
Fancy footwork.
Fancy footwork. I need to find that one. Can you check up on that? Because I think it might be a bonus action. Right,
It doesn't. It's a feature.
Zarek pulls out 2 daggers. Where he's pulling them from, you don't know. He's like,
I dread to think.
ghosts, spiders.
Do they smell like Elvana's sack? Or bloody nutmeg sack?
It hits. He does a little bit of damage, which is and misses with the second one. Shield, look. Nutmeg sings, "Who's the bastard on the web? On the web? Who's the bastard on the web? On the web?"
Right, I'll cast Being on it. Alright.
You do not get to apply the effect because he succeeded in his saving throw.
Just seeing if
I will remove that.
just seeing if I got any bonus spells.
You basically got Healing Word or Vicious Mockery, I think, is your 2, but you can only cast Healing Word.
Alright.
Okay. Snoodle, are you telling to keep back? Get back, Snoodle.
Yep.
We can remove Brown Bear.
Hide over here, Snoodle.
Speaking of which, what do you call a bear with no parents? Rupert the Bastard. Right, the ghostly spider, it steps forward to bite Dobbsy, but it also spits out webs. It is a spinneret targeting at Zarek, who's thrown those nasty-ass daggers about. Zarek fails and is engulfed head to foot in sticky strands of web. And then
Wouldn't be the first time.
the ghost bites Dobbsy with its terrible, terrible bite. Oh, that is nasty.
What? I'll kite it. You lot kill it.
It misses as you dodge out the way with the first bite, and it misses as it bites with the second bite. Nutmeg.
I'll charge him and smash his head in.
Right, you sway backwards and forwards as you charge towards the ghost.
He looked at my pint, the bastard.
Ah.
I'll run over and smash him one.
Go on then. You could actually move your totem, like.
I did, and I also hit reckless attack, but it didn't take that into account.
You are
either.
intoxicated, you're at a disadvantage, so it just
Oh,
evens
right.
it out.
Yeah, twat, yeah. With my bonus action, I'll headbutt
You
him.
raged with your bonus action.
Is raging a bonus action?
Yeah.
My God. So I can't headbutt
I think
him.
it is. Check. I'm
I
pretty
don't
sure
know.
raging
I'll
is.
just spit at him.
Elvana.
Oh, right. Just trying to think. Does it look very wounded, this thing?
Not terribly.
Okay.
You should be able to see a dot in the corner, which gives you a general indication of how wounded it is.
Oh, almost. What type of damage does it seem to be inflicting? What can I see?
No, none at all, because it's managed to miss Dobbsy. It's just encoded Zarek in thick, sticky webs. Trying to take a bite out of Dobbsy.
Try to take a bite out of him.
It's literally going to be shit Dougal, run quite fast.
Nutmeg's just got a scratch, I saw, isn't he? I'll cast Fairy Fire on it, and I'll try and... There. Hey, that was great, wasn't it?
Oh, nice.
Oh.
Yeah, so target it and roll its saving throw.
Again, I can't target it. I won't let us target the bloody thing.
There you go.
Thank you. Come on, please fail.
It succeeds at its saving throw, sadly.
Oh, that was a good one.
It was a good one. Is that your turn?
I'm not sure if there's out else I can do. Oh, they're all thingies. Actually, I can. I'm going to cast Healing Spirit again.
Mm-hmm.
And heal Nutmeg, Britwick, Sherlock.
You can only cast Healing Spirit if you used a cantrip as your main action.
All right, I thought it was a bonus action.
It is, but you can't cast 2-leveled spells, so you can cast a cantrip as your main action, and then a spell as a bonus action.
I'm not used to this bonus action thing, you see. No, that's fine, but I will move this so that I can keep an eye on what's happening with all the party members.
Okay, it's round 2. It's back to Bitwick.
Right. I shall step over Snows.
He looks up here.
That should.
Rawr.
I'll just check that puts my 10 feet away. It does. Right. And we'll have a go at hitting the spidery thing again. Right. Have some radiant damage, you little bastard.
Yeah, it. You punch it, and it actually seems to hurt it a little bit.
Very good. So we'll try that again then.
Another hit.
And then we'll dive off back over there, dancing about like a ninja monk.
You dance back behind Snoodle.
Yep.
Dub there.
Right. What I want to do, and I want to run this by you first, is rather than take 2 attacks, is it possible to make 1 main attack, then use my skill, is it? Fancy footwork to slip away, but as I slip away, can I use a bonus action to drop a shit ton of the ball bearings that I've got in my inventory?
I would say
So
yes, but I
if
need
the
to find
spider,
out.
so if the spider chases, it's going to hopefully go arse over tit on the ball bearings.
I will allow you to drop your ball bearings because if you basically cut your purse, you'll have them in a pouch at your belt if you just cut them.
Oof. Okay.
If you make a melee attack against the creature can't make opportunity attacks against you, so it doesn't. Fancy footwork doesn't take an action up as long as you've made a melee attack. So there's no action. So you get your stab, and then you get your free disengage, and then you get your bonus action. And how much do ball bearings cover?
I don't know, but we'll find out in a second. But there's 1,000 of them, so it's a pretty fucking lot. Oh, hang on. Is it action you can spill these? Oh, it says there's an action. Shit. You can spill these tiny metal balls from the pouch, cover a level square that is 10 feet on a side. All right, I'll just stab it again then, and then I'll disengage.
Right, so you stab it, and then you disengage. You hit. The ectoplasm is starting to leak out.
And then I run the fuck away.
You gallop away, that I think you'll find. You can move like 40 feet or something, can you?
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, your movement speed's like 40 foot. Centaur boy.
Run, Dougal. Run quite fast.
Zarek is webbed Sherlock.
Yeah, man, that was a crustacean.
I'll try being again.
The ghost seems to be losing cohesion. It succeeded.
Might be immune to being then.
No, it's just making it saving throw. It hasn't said anything about being immune to it. Is that your turn?
Yep.
Right. The ghost, it fires its webs at Nutmeg, and Nutmeg, like a bad special effect, you are wrapped head to foot in webs. And then, seeing as it's beginning to discorporate, it starts to run out of the door. As it steps just outside the door, an enormous spider leg comes down, shaking the floor, pinning the ghost to the floor. And Yarnspinner's immense head comes down and looks through the door. In fact, now that you look at it, the Yarnspinner is too big to get in the door, but somehow it's obviously some fey magic of some kind, either used by Santa Claus or Doctor Who. You can fit in him. And his head peers in. The ghost pinned in place struggles. And he says, "What have you done, you poor, corrupted thing? Are you all right in there?"
Yes.
It seems to have webbed you up. Let me take care of that. He snaps his mandibles together, and the webs fall away from you.
Bollocks.
I must apologize. I've allowed you to come to harm in my realm when I had promised you safe resting. This is one of my workers, and it appears to have been corrupted somehow. I must apologize, and I promise to give you safe passage from my realm.
Could it be possible the effect of the three hags poisoning the other realms might be leaking into this one?
If that is the case, then it's a very dangerous thing that is happening there. These ghosts are part of my psyche. They when I sleep, they come out and they visit other people's dreams and collect their memories as stories, but they're not supposed to steal them, they're just supposed to observe. So this one, sadly, is corrupted, and then with a great burst of fear magic, it just dissipates in a puff of ectoplasm.
Awesome.
I must apologise. Please let me give you something in a manner that can at least make up a little for it. And he begins to weave his magic web from his abdomen and pulls out a pair of slippers. And he says, "These slippers will allow you to climb as if you were one of my spiders."
Ooh. Can I have 2 pairs?
He pops. You can only make 1 set, so he pops them into the party. Who wants them? Obviously, if it's Dobbsy, then he will make 4.
Well, I'll have them if nobody else wants them.
I don't want them because climbing makes you go places.
Might be good for Dobbsy actually, because he struggles with the climbing, so it could help
Yeah.
him.
It is true, he does have problems climbing.
Good idea.
True, but if anybody else wants them first, I don't mind.
No,
No, I'm fine.
I think it would aid you've got skills in certain areas, and I think they would aid you.
And you are
I just,
certainly struggling.
I could just see Dobbsy on the ceiling stabbing at people down from below.
Fuck yeah.
So the slippers of spider climbing give you a climbing speed equal to your walking speed, which in Dobbsy's case is 40 feet. They're in the party sheet, so Yarn Spinner says, "Please let me escort you to the fairy ring, and I will send you safely on your way. If indeed Prismere is leaking through into Fablerise, then I wish you well and hope that you deal with it, and please tell your goblin friends they are welcome in my realm. Anything else that you may have taken from in here as well, of course, you're welcome to." So Yarn Spinner leads you out of his scriptorum, leads you to the fairy ring, and he waves his large spider hands about, and you reappear back in the good fairy ring to the south, just next to the goblin village. Back in the lands of Thither. Perhaps that's where we'd leave it for tonight, as you head back to the goblins to tell them the good news. You have found somewhere for them to live.